Thank you. Good evening, all. Nice to have connected with some of you at the networking session. And really, today for me is to paint a picture of Africa. We had one or two conversations, and there's a lot of curiosity of what's going on in Africa. So I'll start by talking about the private capital markets. Less than 1% of global venture capital funding is in Africa. And of that, less than 2% is actually invested in female-founded businesses. And yet, Africa has immense potential. So it's the fastest growing economy, second to Asia, but yet in the agriculture sector, which is a backbone of the economy, productivity is still 5 to 6 times lower than the global average. That's the opportunity. And then with a population of 1.5 billion, that's expected to double in 2050, still more than 50% of the population lacks access to healthcare services. And over 51% of adult population are still underserved and underbanked. That's not a challenge. That's a $1 trillion opportunity that's waiting to be unlocked. In sub-Saharan Africa, in sub-Saharan Africa, women are twice likely to start businesses than they are globally. And 90% of income they make is actually deployed into healthcare, education, and nutrition. But yet, less than 2% is invested in female-founded businesses. That's the arbitrage opportunity. It's actually the unrealized asset class. That's where the alpha is. And then let's talk about Africa's secret weapon, which is the youth population. 60% of the Africa population is under the age of 25. So these are digital natives. They are entrepreneurial. They're demanding for better products and services. And this is the most dynamic consumer base in the planet. And already Africa has shown the world what's possible with mobile money. I'm sure most of you have heard of M-Pesa, golden child. So M-Pesa was actually born in Africa, in Kenya, where I come from. So very proud to have that innovation. And mobile money has actually permeated continent-wide. So what that means is, 70% of the 1 trillion mobile payments market is from Africa. And then off this foundation, we've seen a lot of businesses, a lot of innovations building off these rails. From telehealth to fintech to agritech to edutech. And last year, Nigeria produced a unicorn, MoneyPoint. This is the 9th unicorn in Africa. So we are barely scratching the surface of opportunities in Africa, right? And so in the context of this opportunity, FINCA Ventures has modeled its thesis to invest in the resilience economy. And the sectors specifically are healthcare, education, agriculture, and financial inclusion. These are the foundational sectors that help entrepreneurs, who are the backbone of the African economy, to actually thrive and take advantage of those opportunities. And so what you'll see tonight, the companies that we'll talk about, the fellows who are in the room, is just a sliver of what FINCA Ventures looks at in terms of businesses. To date, since 2018, we've invested in 32 companies across 20 countries in Africa. And from the initial 7.8 million initial investment from FINCA, these businesses have gone to raise an additional $120 million in follow-on capital in the form of debt, equity, or grants. That's leverage. That's the work of catalytic capital. And as FINCA Ventures, we come in at the very early stage to really support these businesses at the point where they've run out of founders' cash. So between then and attracting additional venture capital, you need funds to come in at this point, and that's where FINCA Ventures plays. And collectively, these companies have impacted 12.5 million lives. So at FINCA Ventures Beyond Capital, and Andre mentioned that, we really come in to provide tangible value-add support to our portfolio companies. and we do so by leveraging the FINCA assets. So with our microfinance subsidiaries, we're able to provide working capital to these businesses. We talked about with Paul venture debt and the importance of venture debt. We also work with some of our partners who are in this provide grant capital to our portfolio companies. And again, just to emphasize the importance of having that capital continuum, you almost need to provide that level of capital, grant funding, to really help the businesses, improve on their MVPs, test a new market, test a new product. And they can only do so with that grant capital. So this is extremely important. And again, it's an ecosystem approach in terms of funding. Additionally, we also do participate in the boards of these companies where we provide strategic insights. And we also lean into our expert network of experts, of sector experts who will come in and really bring insights at the board level to companies in the ag sector, for example, where we're not experts in, or healthcare. So, we are, as FINCA Ventures, are uniquely positioned to really achieve outsized impact and also returns. We are present in the market. We've got a team based in Nairobi, and we've built context of the local economies. We work alongside other co-investors to strengthen this knowledge. We are standing in to take the risk as investors. Even with a changing fundraising climate, we're living up to our pillars, which is resilience. And so even FINCA Ventures as a fund remains steadfast, and we continue doing the good work. So this is only the beginning of the conversation, and we'd love to continue having this conversation, but we need partners in this room to continue helping us, supporting our companies, really supporting our mission. And so we thank you for joining us in this journey, and hopefully we can work together to collectively achieve the mission of FINCA Ventures. Thank you.